right. You heard me? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me on everything else. Let me know if y'all can hear me on everything else, man. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Whoa, 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 mic check 1 2. Let me know if y'all can hear me on everything else. Let me know if y'all can hear me on everything else, man. Let's get it. We got a nice show tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? If you just tuning in, this is Telling the Truth, Not Hating. Box 4, I'm good. I don't have no echo or nothing. This is Telling the Truth, Not Hating. If this your first night, hey, man, listen, man. This is where we come in. We tell the truth without hating. You feel me? A lot of people get mad when people speak their mind and they be clear, you know what I'm saying, and intentional. But, you know, I know how I feel to not be able to voice your opinion or speak your facts, you know. So I felt like I need to start something for people who feel the same way, man. So we could, like, you know, get over that stigma that is only one-sided, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't be this way, you can't have access. You can't get in. We turning them mindsets to ownership mindsets. You feel me? Well, you ain't gonna just be saying on anything to try to get in and fit in, man. You know what I'm talking about? Nah, we ain't on that, man. Tell your truth, be intentional, and guess what? It's gonna take you a long way. And somewhere down the line, people gonna wind up respecting you, man, because they can't do nothing but respect it. You dig? Because you standing firm on what you believe. You know what I'm talking about? And you don't have to react in anger all the time. You know what I'm saying, man? Let your response be calm. You feel me? Have the fruits of the spirit. You know what I'm talking about? When you speaking, let them hear it. And because when you're fussing and arguing and all that, man, nothing get taken care of. You did. But we gonna get this thing started. Without further ado, man, I'm gonna bring my guests on. I just saw him in the queue. Let's get it started, man. We ain't gonna hold it back. We ain't gonna hold it back. You heard me? Whoa.
Yeah.
What's up, partner? What's up? Man, you're a busy man, man. I was like, man, I hope you don't leave me hanging like my last partner last night, man. I had to take over and fill in the gap. You heard me?
Oh yeah. No, I represent for you. When you came down to Katy, Texas, I was there. You know, I saw you when you did the watch party.
Oh, okay. You was in there?
Yeah. I was in the building, man.
Okay. Okay, yeah, it went down, man. You know, my team checked on your story a little bit based off of what you said, man, and you know, we kind of like stalk your page a little bit, man, and seen, what you was about, and cause I want to make sure that it wasn't nobody trolling the situation, cause I don't, condone no negativity, you know what I'm saying? But you have a story to tell. This is a new platform that we starting, you know what I'm saying? And right now we on 7 different platforms. We on Instagram, we on TikTok, we on Bigo, we on YouTube, we on Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter, you know what I'm saying? So people get to hear you on all 7 of these platforms and they get to hear your story. And what I do, man, I take the interview and I put it on my YouTube so it can get more coverage. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you say is gonna be up there and stuck there, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I got you, bro.
Yeah. So for the people that don't know who you is, man, why don't you introduce yourself and we gonna get straight to it, man, and let the people know give them a little summary of what you will be discussing and talking about. Cause I got a few questions for you, so we gonna answer the question, but you can introduce, a little summary of what you're gonna be talking about and who you is.
Yeah, definitely. For all the people who don't know me, Morris, Marvin Morris, and I'm a former Army officer. Grew up in the hood just like the average one of us. But regardless of that, I'm for the community, for the people, and recently wrote a book, Cry for Help, open letter to Jamie Foxx, and that's kind of what I'm gonna be talking about when he did his Netflix special, December 2024. What had happened was, I think there's some things about it that got implications for us that I want to speak on.
Okay, and he did say he have a book called The Letter to Jamie Foxx. Am I correct?
Yep, Cry for Help, an open letter to Jamie Foxx.
Okay, okay. So yeah, I heard it. This is my guy Morris. We gonna get straight into it. So, what made you feel compelled to write a book about Jamie Foxx specifically? And was it admiration, concern, curiosity, or something you saw that others ignored?
Yeah, that's a good question. For me, Jamie Foxx, he's a big name and he's a celebrity. And when he did that, what had happened was, he was all in the news. People were trying to figure out who poisoned him. Was it Diddy that killed him? You know what I'm saying? What made him go off of, acting for a while, and what made him get sick when he had that health scare in 2023. So that was part of the story. Like, okay, trying to find out what happened to him, how did he get sick, what really went on. But when I started to watch the show and he did the special, it wasn't really funny at all. But the real thing that got me was he was all of a sudden he was playing on the black community as if like he had this big epiphany about God, sisters, black women, all the things that make you a black person. You know what I'm saying? He was speaking on it, but then at the end of the show, he made a joke like, "No more white women, only in public." So I thought that he was speaking on real talk, but he wasn't really about that life for our people. So he was using our people to get back into the limelight. That's how I felt. That's how I saw it.
Okay, so when you say identity crisis, what does that really mean in your words? And are we talking personally, spiritually, industry driven, or something deeper?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like with his work in the industry, when he had that health scare, it really brought him back to thinking about everything that it meant for him to be an African American. And I feel like he realized when he started looking at how black people supported him in Atlanta, he looked at it was the black family, his sister that came through for him when he was in need. When he looked at how God was a theme that he learned from his mom and his parents, the black church. He thought about all these things that made him and made up his African American identity. And I feel like when he threw out that jab, "No more white women" as a joke, it was really a real insight into how he was feeling like he had somehow went away from black culture. That's what I saw.
Okay. So, do you believe fame can fracture a person's identity or just reveal what was already there? And how did Jamie Journey illustrate that to you?
Yeah, I feel like it could fracture it. I mean, it probably could reveal what's already there at the same time, but in Jamie Foxx's case, he know too much. Like if you look at all his roles, a lot of his acting roles, his comedy shows, he know about the black community. He know where he's from, and he know that the black community, the black church made him. But I feel like with his success, he married a white woman, which I didn't know. I learned that after I did my research on him,
Mm-hmm.
and I think all his marriages was with white women. From my understanding, I mean I might be wrong on that, but I feel like he realized that the industry for him was actually taking him away from his identity, and that's kind of what happened. That's what I saw.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what moment or pattern in Jamie Foxx' life made you say, this isn't just talent, this is a struggle, something
Yeah,
that shift how you viewed them?
yeah, definitely good question. I mean, one of the main things that he talked about was he talked about faith. I mean, like I say, for it to be a comedy special, it shouldn't have been called that because I didn't see hardly no jokes in it that was really that funny. You know what I'm saying? It was more him crying, being emotional, and he kept talking about things like God. He kept talking to things about his mom and the church experience. He kept alluding to that, and we know from those of us who are African Americans and been in the struggle, faith in God, that's all we had at one point in time. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? You got enemies, you got people against you. God was our only way through a lot of what we've been through. And that was like the major theme that he was talking about. So when I'm listening to him making jokes about, African American women, even though at the same time he's calling on African American women and thanking them for his support in Atlanta, I feel like this is really not about a joke. It's really more about how he's reflecting on what he owes the black community, but hasn't really lived up to.
Okay, okay. So how much pressure do you think Hollywood put on artists to become a version of themselves that sells but isn't real? And do you think Jamie got caught in the machine?
Yeah. I definitely think he got caught in the machine. I think Hollywood got to have a lot to do with it because it's money and fame. You know, everybody want to get the bag, everybody want to get paid, and I feel like Jamie's somebody who saw what I won't say selling out, but that's kind of the word I want to use. But kind of going away from his roots was giving him opportunity, and I feel like that pressure from Hollywood to be successful, to do whatever it takes to get the next role, to sell your identity, even if it means you got to marry a white person. I mean, come on, what logical person? I'm not saying we're against white people, no way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not racist under no circumstance. But let's be honest. If you're an African American, whether you grew up in Memphis or over in Atlanta, how could you not want to get with the African American sister girl? I mean, they're the most beautiful women we got. And
Yeah.
so that to me is a sign that he kind of fell away and the machine got him.
Okay. So was this book more about Jamie Foxx or more about what happened to any person when identity and success collides? Meaning, is Jamie the example or the mirror?
Yeah,
Put it in the microwave, man.
he's a
Because I can't
reflection.
do it. I can't eat it.
Yeah, definitely. He's a reflection of anybody that can get caught up. Anybody who get to a point in time, get to a point in their success where they feel like they made it, but then they go through something like a health scare. See, a health scare, you can't pay your way out of that. You know what I'm saying? You can't really like do nothing about it unless God gives you some grace to come up out. And so I feel like when you go through something real serious, it really make you. Jamie Foxx was just a mirror of how people all of a sudden realize, hey, I've gone too far. I need to reel it back in. But like I said, the reason I got a problem with Jamie Foxx and wrote about him is because when he talked about no more white women only in public, it told me that all of his, hype about the black community was a joke, and he still go back to his old ways. So that's really why I wrote about him. But I think he's definitely a mirror about anybody who could turn their back on their people, turn their back on their community, and regret it later.
Yeah. So did researching and writing a book force you to examine your own identity at any point? And if so, what did it expose about you?
Yeah, it definitely made me look in, and for me, we look like with you, for example. I'm gonna answer the question, but like I respect you because you a person that when I look at my role models that I want to have, I'm always looking for somebody that's real, somebody that's authentic on the inside. What they speaking on, that's what they doing out in public. And
Mm-hmm.
so for Jamie, he really reminded me of why Hollywood in general, actors, a lot of celebrities are not real role models for African Americans. Because for me, they'll play the game, they'll cry on stage, they'll come out with a comedy special, speak on all the topics about African Americans, but at the end of it, for them, it's just a joke. So
Mm-hmm.
no more, and that was the major line that stood out to me. No more white women, only in public, he said, meaning he's still just gonna go back to his old ways. So for me, it really just reminded me that celebrities can't be trusted by default. They're really not automatically good role models, and you gotta be screening, gotta be discerning. That's kind of what it did because he let me down with that, and from moving forward, I just can't look to him for it.
Celebrities are humans, bro, and I was talking about that today. Not to get off the subject, but
Yeah,
people have this mystique about celebrities, right? And they take away the humanizing of the celebrities, like a person such as myself. If I was to come out with this platform, telling the truth, not hating, a lot of people who are Jamie Foxx fans will say you hating on Jamie Foxx and
yeah,
really not look at the deeper, you know, answering of what you giving. You're not your demeanor is not hateful. You know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
basically just speaking from a human perspective of what you seen and what you saw versus what people thinking. You know what I'm saying? And I
yeah,
think the more people start to speak out and tell their truth and give their perception on things from an honest standpoint, I think the world would be a better place. Some people might say discussing another man's identity is judgment, right? So how do you separate truth telling from hating, especially in today's cancel culture climate?
Yeah, and just to speak on what you said, you got to remember, first of all, a lot of people get their purpose in life by finding a problem and making it better. So if you don't be critical in your thought about what's really going on, then you just go with the flow and you'll never have no meaning. The people who make money are the people that stand out, they do something different, they address issues. And so when you ask the question about, you know, how can this be truth telling, not hating? I mean, I got the book right here. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's a lot to this. So I added a lot of research where I showed how what Jamie Foxx was speaking on when he alluded to white women. Okay, I take it to the book and I show how historically African Americans, white people, we didn't mix like that. I go historically to show not only what we separated culturally, but we had different spiritual identities. Meaning, for black people, you can't believe in God and still be a slave. But for white people, you can be a slave and still believe in God. That's incompatible. You know, that's not even compatible. So
Mm-hmm.
the notion of being closely married to a white person, I talked about how African American women were treated. I just did the research. I related everything that he was saying to facts about history. So when you talk about telling the truth is not hating, you got to speak on what really went on. So everything he said, whether he was joking about it, meant it, or didn't mean it, I related it to real things that we can look back factually, biographically, and we can prove. So that's kind of how I did it. I had to lay out that objective foundation.
Yeah. Do you think sometimes the truth is told through a joke?
Well, yeah, I mean, the truth was, and that's why I had a problem with what he said about no more white women, because he really about that life. He ain't giving it up. But jokes can be, like I said, jokes have been a way of alluding to what we really do go through. There's no such thing. They say what they say. For every joke you tell, there's what? Some truth in it, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, so we know that there's truth in jokes, but at the same time, if he was going to be serious and tell the truth through his jokes about the black community, why not go all the way? And that's, like I said, that's not real.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So, do you believe identity crises are avoidable for creatives who reach a certain level, or can they be prevented? And if prevented, how?
Yeah, I think it's avoidable. It's a good question. It's all about who your circle is. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, it starts within. You got to remember, what do you stand for? If you stand for anything. So if you stand for something, you got to kind of build you a culture around you to make sure that can't nobody take you off course. So that's through your friends. That's through your associates, and it's also being a leader to make sure that, hey, you let people know, like, if you stand for something, don't nobody who really respect you, they're not even gonna come at you with that BS. You see what I'm saying? They're not even gonna approach you with it because they know what you're about. So I think that we can prevent it if you make a conscious decision to do what? To keep the people in your circle in line with you, keep everybody in check, as far as like making sure everybody's going the same direction. But when you let the enemy into your circle, see, that can infiltrate other people, you get other voices. So that's, you just gotta be careful who you associate with.
Exactly. Exactly. So, if Jamie Foxx was sitting here watching this interview, what
Yeah.
would you want him to understand about your intentions, not as an artist, but as a man?
Yeah, I appreciate that question. And for Jamie Foxx, like I said, I would want him to first of all want to let him know that we need to have a conversation. We need to have a conversation. I want to let him know that for some of us, people took it as a joke. Okay, I got that side of the audience. It was laughter in the house. I'm not knocking that. But I want to let him know, for some people, like African American women, he really touched on some real topics that for some people was traumatic. Like, again, from some people joking about no more white women, at his level, for some people, it brought up, well, wow, is the black woman not good enough for the African American male still? For some people, it brought up questions about, man, I remember when my grandmother still couldn't go to the bathroom with, the other side. So I want to let him know that even though he was joking, there's some real things that we really do need to discuss. And if he's going to be a celebrity, just give him my point of view about what he can do as a celebrity to make a difference.
So you think the pressure of him being a celebrity, like he should take more responsibility and hold himself more accountable for the things he say?
I think he should, because everybody, you got to think about the least among us. You can't think about the person that's far removed from the situation. You got to think about his core fan base, people that supported him. So I think definitely as a celebrity, he got to be mindful that what he say matters. You know what I'm saying?
Is that only for celebrities or people in general though?
It's for the people in general, but the problem is society made it that celebrities are more important than the average person. That's the way society made it. They made it seem like if you're Jamie Foxx, your opinion gets highlighted, and if you're me, you know what I'm saying, you just got to come up how you can get it. See what I'm saying? But it is for everybody, but really, we live in a culture where celebrity life is a lot of times put on a pedestal, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah. Okay, so what lessons should the audience take from this book about protecting their own identity before success, not after it?
Yeah, I would say from this book, people got to realize that number one, your identity, especially if you're an African American, you can't run from it. I mean, that's what Jamie Foxx learned. Even after his health scare, he still had to come back to his own people. Atlanta, it wasn't a crowd full of white people, it was a crowd full of black people. You know what I'm saying? So he had to come back home regardless. So what you got to do from a lesson point of view is work on your identity all the time. Remember where you came from and embrace it. And then make sure that as you grow up, use your identity not as just a way to get by, but use your identity to get ahead, because you have something different about you that people respect. And when you throw that away, you lose all credibility. So, I mean, that's kind of how I would say it to the folks.
Why do you think, and this is just a question outside, but I have a beautiful black woman, you know what I'm saying, and I love
Yeah.
my wife, but why do you think a lot of black brothers um choose to be with a different race other than their own?
Yeah. Now I can speak. I'm gonna just speak on what I know for a fact, which is about the white side. And if any time, I'm gonna say it this way, this is a true statement. It's gonna be controversial though. Almost 99%, if not 100, of all interracial relationships between a black person and a white person is based on some type of inferiority issue.
Complex. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is none of them are, they're all delegitimized. For example, if you got the black woman that says, I can't find a good man, that might be it. If you got the black man that makes a judgment about, well, let's say, black women are too much of this or too much of that, or if you got the black person that has a self-hatred issue, there's no such thing as a legitimate interracial relationship between a black person and a white person. I mean, that's what I know from experience. Just let me give you just a couple more examples. E, Maximilian, do you really think that's a legitimate relationship? Serena Williams and whoever she married to, I mean, is that a legitimate relationship? Michael Jackson and whoever he was dealing with, was that a legitimate relationship? I mean, let's just think about the logic. There's nothing that makes sense about it. And that's why, somebody like Barack Obama, regardless of his politics, that's why he is more resonates with our people at times, because he stayed true to his black side when he had a choice.
But I feel like when you say Barack Obama, that's only a selective few people. Because even though Barack Obama was, considered, us, at times Barack Obama just acted, and he either was a good person or a bad person. And me personally, I think it all boils down to not the skin color, not the contents of your skin, but the contents of your character. You know what I'm saying? So if you are either a good person or a bad person, I think in this society where we at now, bro, like we should be past the white, black, Chinese, Hispanic, all that, and grow to a spiritual level, to walk by faith and understand that, you know, it's the spirit that determines the type of individual that you dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think separates, you know, everything from everything. The spirit, the spirituality of a person, you know what I'm saying? And you have to have a relationship with God to look at things, and you have to have a renewed mind from the way that you was taught. Renewing your mind, you gotta, it takes repetitions of new information. So if you being fed the old information and you living off of the old information and you haven't changed, then your world as you see it is basically the same how you've been seeing it. You know what I'm saying? So my question to you: are you racist? Are you prejudiced?
Yeah. Hey, Jerk, the number one thing I had to ask myself when I was going through the book to make sure that I'm telling the truth, not hating and not racist, was making sure that I had no racist bone in my body. So I got nothing, there's nothing racist about me. And I agree with everything you said, Turk. The only thing is, for my research and stuff, is that my preference is that it doesn't seem logical that an African American would need to date outside or marry outside of African American culture. That's my only thing. And it's only because of everything we've been through in the United States. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So if we hadn't been through slavery, if we hadn't been through segregation, maybe the whole everything is equal might apply. But what I'm seeing a lot of times is that, like Jamie Foxx, branching out but coming back in only when it's convenient. So that's not real to me. And it shows that there's a problem psychologically going on. That's why I say he had an identity crisis, because the first thing he did when he broke down was come back to African Americans.
Do you think he's in violation of the bro code? Uh, you know, like, I mean, to each his own.
I mean, I can't control what people do. I'm just speaking, the facts that I saw as I see it. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the bro code, I don't really, like I said, I don't really want to. I don't recommend who people date, who people don't date. But if you want to be with somebody, it should be authentic. And I just felt like with the way he told his joke, the way he did his special, he wasn't keeping it real.
Okay, okay. Well, if Jamie Foxx was to see this, and you want Jamie Foxx to get in contact with you, how would you, you know, what would you want him to know, and how to get in contact with you if he want to just address you?
Yeah, if Jamie Foxx want to get in contact with me, I think it'd be a great time, a great conversation. We'll have a great outcome. All you got to do is hit me up at info at jamiefoxletter.com. That's where you can see me, or hit me up on Instagram, Morris184, Facebook, Marvin Morris. Definitely want to get with them, and definitely appreciate this opportunity.
Yeah. You say you letter to Jamie Foxx. Hey man, I ain't gonna lie. When you first hit me in the DM, I was like, letter to Jamie Foxx, man. What's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? But then, like I say, my team checked up on you, man, and I thought it was, you know, respectable. So, you know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion and what they think. You know, I think it was a great interview, man. You know, and you never know, bro. Like, hey, you never know where it's gonna go. You feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna put it on my Instagram, and I'm gonna tag Jamie Foxx on it, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, hopefully, you know, he can reach out to you. You feel me?
Yeah.
And y'all can have a conversation as men, because I feel like, you know, when they say celebrities, bro, that's just a title. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we all are human. You know what I'm saying? And the way you approach people, I think that's when people either be approachable or non-approachable. You know what I'm saying? The way you communicate with people. And you didn't come in disrespect. You know what I'm saying? You just spoke your mind the way you spoke it. And you entitled to that. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you from coming on, telling the truth, not hating. And you welcome to come on the platform anytime you got something that you want to get off your chest, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And I respect you. I represent for you. You still, man. got a lot of love out here in Houston. Anytime you come back to the streets.
Yeah, all love, man. Appreciate your time, bro. You feel me? All right, stay up, bro. Be safe out there. All right, homie. Yeah. Hey, that was a good one right there, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Telling the truth, not hating, man. You know, you never know what people gonna come on here and talk about. I see y'all say I had an echo on YouTube or whatever, but Box 4, you ain't let me know nothing, so I ain't know. I see somebody saying echo, but anyway, if y'all would like to replay this interview, y'all could go to my Instagram at Original Hot Boy Turk. It will be up on there, you know what I'm saying? And I'm quite sure that the sound and everything is perfect. Like I told y'all, I am not an engineer, and I'm just trying to give y'all some content, you feel me? When I figure out how to do these sounds with all these different platforms, we'll get to that. But, you know, I can't let that be no excuse for me not to do what I do. You know what I'm talking about? But it's correct somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, if y'all want to hear the whole entire interview without the discrepancies, man, go to my Instagram page. The interview will be in its entirety on there. Anybody got any questions that they want to say, that they want to speak about, far as with our guest just was talking about, y'all welcome to, you know, verse y'all opinion or y'all questions or whatever at this time. You know, I'm going to read them out and we going to get to it. And if y'all would like to come up and elaborate on it, go to my Instagram, Original Hot Boy Turk, and tell me what y'all think about the situation. You feel me? We got somebody in the queue. Let me see. Let me bring them up, see what's going on. Trying to bring you up, man. Trying to bring you up. Appreciate it. My wife then bought my food up here. I told her to put it in the microwave. Man, I got some chicken and spaghetti, y'all. You heard me? Mm-hmm. Just the way I like it, with cheese on it. Straight like that. With some of that I like them hot seasoning. Mm-hmm. Got my seasoning. You heard me? Real life. We got the spicy garlic, spicy lemon pepper, and the hot salt. If y'all would like to taste my seasoning, go to ilikemhot.com and order your season. Also, my book, Surviving Whole Niggas, and the Autobiography of Turk. Also, go stream my album, Joseph, out on all streaming platforms. I try to bring you up, bro. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to try it again. You must got a flip phone or something. I hit the button. Mm-hmm. All trade them season. ilikemhot.com. Believe that. I'm eating spaghettis and some chicken wing, man. Some oven baked chicken wing. It ain't letting y'all up, bro. Okay. We 20 minutes early in the show. If my guest that was supposed to come up yesterday is in the queue and you would like to come up right now, send me a request, bro, and I'll bring you up. Even though we couldn't get you up yesterday, you say you was in the queue. I don't doubt it. I just couldn't see it. But if you here right now, I could bring you up and we could go ahead on and get your story out. But if not, shit, I'll catch y'all tomorrow, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, make my job easy, man. I'm grateful for it. You feel me? Real life. Go ahead and eat my food. I'm gonna take me an early nap. Man, don't y'all know I be going to sleep about 10 o'clock now? But the crazy part, see, I go to sleep at 10, but my hours of when I get up like 7 to 6 in the morning. So, 10 o'clock is basically like 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 15 hours I've been working. So it's about the time to go ahead on and lay down and blah, blah, blah. And then I probably get up about 2. My timing be off. I ain't lying. My timing is different from the average person. When I'm up, y'all sleep. When y'all up, I'm sleep. I did an interview with Baller Alert. That interview coming out. It was a great interview. I also did a podcast today with Beehive. Y'all go check that out. That's on Beehive ATL right now. Just gotta stay in the algorithm, bro. It's all about staying in the algorithm. You know, doing my platforms and partnering up with other people who got platforms. Gonna always stay in the algorithm. That's what it's all about. So you gotta stay active, stay working. That's the only way people gonna respect you. If you ain't doing nothing out here, people gonna look you over, man, and they ain't gonna have no respect for you, bro. I promise. People respect people that's grinding. Make them respect you. Man, this chicken good. All right, y'all. So my other guest, he's not here. So we gonna go ahead on and call this early on, telling the truth, not hating. I might get back on here. All depends on, you know what I'm saying, how I'm feeling. But I'm about to eat my food. If not, we gonna catch y'all tomorrow, man. If you would like to be on Telling the Truth, Not Hating, DM me, send me y'all story, let me know what it is, what it ain't. Get my team to get on it, and we'll put you on the show. You feel me? Other than that, man, y'all stay up, man. Go to wearebrokebums.com and get y'all Broke Bums merch. Y'all see we got the new shirts out right now. My book, Surviving Whole Niggas, the Autotherapy of Turk. Stream my music, Joseph. Get the seasoning. And y'all stay tuned for more, man. I'ma holler at y'all. I'm gone.